Asia, the world's largest continent, is witnessing a dramatic power shift. At the heart of this transformation lies the rivalry between India and China. Both nations possess formidable military forces, driven by historical grievances and territorial disputes. Their growing military might has implications for Asia and the world. This is a story of two nations, each determined to assert its influence. China and India boast the two largest standing armies globally, each with over 1 million active personnel. China's People's Liberation Army, or PLA, stands as the world's largest, with over 2 million active soldiers. India's army, while smaller, still fields a formidable force of over 1.4 million. Both nations have embarked on ambitious modernization programs to enhance their army's capabilities. China has invested heavily in advanced weaponry, including tanks, artillery, and missile systems. India, while lagging behind in military spending, has made significant strides in modernizing its army, acquiring new equipment from Russia, Israel, and the United States. Both nations possess formidable land forces capable of projecting power in their respective regions. Both China and India field vast arsenals of tanks, artillery pieces, and missile systems. China possesses a clear numerical advantage in tanks, with an estimated 6,500 main battle tanks, including the advanced Type 99A. India, in comparison, operates around 4,500 tanks, primarily consisting of Russian-designed T-72s and T-90s. Artillery capabilities tell a similar story. China's PLA boasts over 17,000 artillery pieces, including self-propelled howitzers and multiple rocket launchers. India's artillery force, while smaller, is undergoing modernization, with the induction of indigenous systems like the Dhanush howitzer. In terms of missiles, China possesses an array of ballistic and cruise missiles capable of striking targets across Asia. India, too, has developed a credible missile program, with missiles like the Agni-5 intercontinental ballistic missile providing a significant deterrent capability. The Indian and Chinese navies have witnessed significant expansion and modernization in recent years. China's People's Liberation Army Navy, or PLAN, has emerged as the world's largest navy by number of vessels, boasting over 350 warships. The Indian Navy, while smaller, operates a balanced fleet of aircraft carriers, destroyers, and submarines. China's naval ambitions are evident in its rapid shipbuilding program and the development of advanced warships like the Type 055 destroyer. India, too, is investing in indigenous shipbuilding, with the commissioning of the INS Vikrant aircraft carrier marking a significant milestone. Both nations recognize the importance of sea power in projecting influence and securing maritime trade routes. Their naval rivalry is likely to intensify in the coming years, particularly in the Indian Ocean region. Section 5. Air Power, Soaring to New Heights. Air power plays a crucial role in the military doctrines of both India and China. China's People's Liberation Army Air Force, or PLAAF, has undergone a remarkable transformation, acquiring advanced fighter jets like the J-20 stealth fighter and the J-16 multi-role fighter. India's Air Force, while facing challenges related to aging equipment and a fighter jet shortage, is gradually modernizing with the induction of Rafale fighter jets from France and the development of the indigenous Tejas light combat aircraft. Both nations possess a mix of fighter jets, bombers, and transport aircraft. China, however, enjoys a numerical advantage and has made significant strides in developing its indigenous aerospace industry. Air power will be critical in any potential conflict, and both nations are investing heavily in enhancing their capabilities in this domain. Section 6. Nuclear Capabilities. The Shadow of Deterrence. Both India and China possess nuclear weapons, adding another layer of complexity to their rivalry. China conducted its first nuclear test in 1964, while India followed suit in 1974. Both nations maintain a no-first-use policy, pledging to use nuclear weapons only in retaliation to a nuclear attack. China's nuclear arsenal is estimated to be larger than India's, with around 350 warheads compared to India's estimated 160 warheads. Both nations possess a triad of nuclear delivery systems, including land-based ballistic missiles, submarine-launched ballistic missiles, and strategic bombers. The possession of nuclear weapons introduces a significant element of deterrence into the India-China rivalry. While the likelihood of a nuclear conflict remains low, the existence of these weapons casts a long shadow over the relationship. Section 7. Strategic Geography, Coastlines, Mountains, and Neighbors. Geography plays a defining role in the military strategies of both India and China. India, a peninsula jutting into the Indian Ocean, enjoys a strategic location that allows it to control vital sea lanes. China, with its vast landmass and long coastline, faces a more complex geopolitical environment. The Himalayas, towering along the India-China border, pose a formidable natural barrier. The mountainous terrain limits military maneuvers, making large-scale offensives challenging. China's long coastline, while providing access to the Pacific Ocean, also exposes it to potential naval threats. India's island territories in the Indian Ocean further complicate the strategic equation. Section 8. Regional Influence. From the Indian Ocean to the South China Sea. Both India and China are vying for influence in their respective regions. India, as the dominant power in South Asia, seeks to maintain its regional hegemony. China, with its growing economic and military might, is expanding its influence in South Asia, Southeast Asia, and beyond. The Indian Ocean, a vital waterway for global trade, has become a focal point of competition between the two nations. China's string of pearls strategy, involving the development of ports and naval bases in the Indian Ocean region, has raised concerns in India. In Southeast Asia, China's assertive claims in the South China Sea have led to tensions with several countries, including Vietnam, the Philippines, and Malaysia. India, while not directly involved in the South China Sea disputes, is enhancing its security partnerships in the region. Section 9. Strengths and Challenges. A comparative analysis. China's military holds several advantages over India's, including a larger defense budget, a more developed defense industrial base, and a numerical advantage in key areas like tanks, warships, and fighter jets. China's centralized command structure allows for swifter decision-making, while India's military often grapples with bureaucratic delays. However, India possesses certain geographic advantages, such as its strategic location in the Indian Ocean and the natural barrier of the Himalayas. India's military also benefits from a long tradition of professionalism and experience in diverse operational environments. Both nations face unique challenges. China's military modernization has raised concerns among its neighbors, potentially leading to a regional arms race. India, on the other hand, must overcome bureaucratic hurdles and modernize its aging equipment to keep pace with China's military advancements. Section 10. Conclusion. An uncertain future. The military rivalry between India and China is one of the defining features of the Asian security landscape. Both nations possess formidable military forces and are engaged in a relentless pursuit of modernization and expansion. While the likelihood of a full-scale war remains low, the potential for miscalculation and escalation cannot be ignored. The outcome of any potential conflict would depend on a complex interplay of factors, including military capabilities, strategic geography, and the political will of both sides. The international community has a vested interest in preventing a conflict between these two nuclear-armed powers. Dialogue, diplomacy, and confidence-building measures are essential for managing this rivalry and ensuring peace and stability in Asia. The future of Asia, and indeed the world, may well hinge on the choices these two giants make in the years to come.